counsels, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I guess it's inherently dangerous to sit in your own bedroom, in your own home, in the middle of the night, while you're babysitting your 8-year-old nephew. Because she's the one that's dead, not the defendant. And all this talk about training and self-defense, it's not the defendant's point of view. You will not see anywhere in this charge that you're to look at it from the defendant's point of view. You're to look at it from a reasonable person in the same circumstances. Well, you know who's in the same circumstances as the defendant, who was looking death in the eye? That was Atatiana. Did she fire? No. He did. And we're going to talk about it here in a minute. You're going to see that he didn't even see a gun. But let's talk about how we got there on October 12th, 2019. Because let me tell you, the one person that had no input on any choices that night was Atatiana Jefferson. Not one choice as things unfolded. Because on October 12th, 2019, when the defendant was called to her house, he was the one making choices. When he approached that front door, he could have knocked and Atatiana would still be alive. When he approached that front door, he could have said, "Fort Worth Police," and Atatiana would still be alive. The general orders are here for a reason. They're here to guide these officers so they get home safely and the citizens of Tarrant County of Fort Worth are protected and served. Atatiana Jefferson was not protected or served on October 12th, 2019. The defendant's own words. They want to argue about Dr. Priest, or Mr. Priest, or Dr. Coons. Dr. Coons couldn't answer a question. If I would have asked him if the sky was blue, he would have said, maybe, perhaps, there are other factors. The man couldn't answer one straight question. What does that say about his credibility? The defense's witness wouldn't even answer one question after he saw the defendant time and time again sitting in that seat, look at you under oath and say, "That was some bad police work. That was some bad police work." Dr. Coons watched him admit bad police work over and over again, then stood up here and told you he did everything great. The defendant knew he didn't do everything the right way. And when you look at the general orders for silent alarms, because that's what you can look at, it's in the exhibits. It says, if you see signs of damaged entry, you shall call for backup. What did the defendant tell you on Monday? I thought the window had been, the screen door, there was damage. Someone had broken in. There was a screwdriver right next to the door. That's signs of forced entry. Signs of forced entry. His general orders say, it's signs of forced entry, you shall call for backup. But he ignored that. Because, you see, you know who the defendant really is as he testified. You know. I mean, he cracked a joke. I guess I just should have stayed home that night. Someone lost their life. He's supposed to be testifying in his own defense, and he's cracking jokes from the witness stand. I guess I should have just stayed home that night. Well, Atatiana was home, and she's no longer here because of what he did. The choices he made, the choices that she had no input into. She, the defendant, did not call for backup when he saw that second screen door, even though it was in his general orders to do it, shall do it. So he kept going, because that's who he is. Gung-ho, hard charger. Ignoring his own safety, ignoring Officer Darch's safety, he leads her into that backyard. And I guess Dr. Coons says if you don't want the police in your backyard, you better lock your gate. All of Fort Worth better go lock your gates right now, or I guess the police can just go in your backyard whenever they want to. Or was that as ridiculous to y'all as it was to me? We have a reasonable expectation of privacy in our homes, just like Ashley talked about. Just like you know, home is where you feel safest. Home is where you know you can protect your family. Home is where you know you can care for your nephew while your mother's in the hospital. But the defendant didn't care about any of that. He was going to get in that backyard. Regardless of that front entryway being completely open, anyone that was in that house could have taken off running. Anyone in that house could have come back around and shot him in the back. He wouldn't have known it because he didn't care. He didn't care about the general orders. He doesn't care about who's in that house. He's a hard charger. He is gung-ho. He was going to get in that backyard. And Atatiana's sitting there playing video games, watching Zion, knowing that this defendant is making life-ending decisions, and she can't do anything about it because she has no idea. So now they get to the gate, and he opens the gate, and they get inside, and they get to that back window. He'd been shining his flashlights all over the cars, shining his flashlight in the back window. Now, again, it's a reasonable person, but I want each of you to think, what would you do in the middle of the night if you heard a noise in your backyard and your children, your grandchildren, nieces or nephews, whoever it may be, are there with you, and you know that you are the only line of defense for their protection, and you hear that noise, and you see a flashlight in your backyard, and you know that you have a gate and a fence that's protecting your backyard, what would you do? You would do the same thing that Atatiana did. She's in her home. She sees somebody she doesn't know in that backyard. Zion's on that bed. And she knows that she's the only person that can protect Zion from what's happening in that backyard, because don't forget, she had no idea what decisions the defendant had made up to that point. So yes, she gets her gun, and she goes to that back window and looks. And they want to make a big deal about Mr. Priest. That case, that man was given commands, and that man had the opportunity to observe those commands, and that man did not. I want you to remember how long their video expert said was from the beginning of the command to the shot was fired. Half a second. How was she supposed to comply? What was she supposed to do? And pointing a gun at a Fort Worth officer is illegal? Yes, it is. If you're violating the law. She didn't know who was out there. She didn't call the police, and she had no input on any decision he had made up to that point. She was there to protect Zion, and that is all. Her only crime was love and protection of her nephew, not pointing a firearm at the Fort Worth Police Department. So he's at the window, and you watch it. Take the body cam back. Watch it over and over again. Look at the audio. Half a second from the first command to where, and it's put up your hand, show me, bam. Half a second. No one can comply with that. No one. She never had a chance. She never had a chance. There was nothing she could do. Nothing that she could have done could have changed what was going to happen, because that man decided when he got to that home that he was going to be a hard charger, he was going to be gung-ho, and he was going to take command of this situation. All while she's just there trying to protect Zion. And she died at his hands. So now we're at the window. And they brought this videographer guy in here and all this other stuff. But let me tell you, there's a lot of evidence that shows this man never saw that gun. He didn't know what he saw. He just shot. He didn't shoot 2 or 3 times to make sure that the threat was over with. He shot 1 time. And their expert, one trial, he's saying it takes a second, a third, a second and a half for the brain to make a decision and for your hand to react. But no, this one's different. This one's different because it's a different case. Or is it because it's a different legal theory? I'll switch it up for whatever the defendant needs. But regardless of that, you know that she didn't have that gun up because I want you to remember, as the defense attorney questioned Dr. Freeze, we talked about the cone of glass. Now I'm laying out here State's Exhibit 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 71, 72, 73, 74, and 75. Those are her hands, folks. When the defense attorney gave his argument just a minute ago, he held his hands up like this. If her hands were in front of her face, they would have been hit with glass. They would have been hit with glass, and you would have saw the same injuries on her hands and forearms as you would have saw on her face. They're not there. You know why? Because the gun was down. Because she didn't know what she was looking at. The defendant testified she was bent over almost perpendicular to the ground. And then the videographer said she's up straight. Well, she couldn't have been up straight if the bullet enters here, like the defense attorney just said, and is found down lower just past her right kidney in the back. She was bent over. And Zion testified the gun was in her right hand. Use your common sense. You didn't lose it whenever you walked to those metal detectors. How must she have been standing? She's standing like this. If she would have had the gun up like this, she would have had glass. If she had the gun in her hand, it was down. He didn't know what he saw. And where is the green laser you were promised last week in opening statements from defense attorneys? I want you to remember, the defense attorney stood up, looked you in the eye, and said, you will hear testimony that that green laser hit his chest. Now, one person from the witness stand, including the defendant, was able to tell you under oath that that green light hit his chest. You know why? Because he didn't see it. So why'd they tell you that in opening statement? Ask yourself, why? I think you know. But then, remember what we talked about in jury selection? You can infer things from people's actions. So now, let's take a look at what happened after he pulled that trigger. Because I tell you, what he did after he pulled that trigger shows you, beyond a reasonable doubt, that he committed murder and that he didn't see that.